Hello, and I'm back for round number two. And, well, doesn't this hand look familiar? It's the one land hand that we had last time. Back in battling again, and our opponent's mulligan a six, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm feeling a little frisky, so our opponent has mulligan to five. So hopefully we don't brick off and die, because that would suck. But if we don't brick off and die, if we draw basic forest turn one of this game, I think some sweet things are gonna happen. Temple of Deceit. Okay, maybe sweet things will not happen. Our opponent's playing a control strategy, which is a little bad for us. A Frontier Siege, bottom. Yeah, that is not the start that we want to see with this deck. Especially when we don't find a land. Come on, deck. You're supposed to give us the land at least once. He has the Bioblight too? Just can't win. Can't win. Can't win. If he has Ashiok here, alright. Wow. Well, this is a tilt. Oh well. Let's see. What do I want to discard here? I have to discard something. I think it's actually the Queen. Queen is like could be relevant against him at some point, but I want to have both Caryatids in case we draw one land but not two. Alright, we drew the land. And he's probably going to like counter this too. I mean, he does only have three cards in hand. Oh, he let it resolve. He does only have three cards in hand. Like, we might. I mean, as long as he doesn't have like a dig or an ingenuity, like we could actually easily win this game. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination. He's playing a lot of lands. Like, he might not have a lot of gas. He probably has a Crux of Fate though. If he's just tanking like this, like I would wager Crux of Fate. He's probably debating if he just wants to kill our single Sylvan Caryatid. And I hope he does because we have a backup. I hope he gives us the Crux. Alright. He is in the tank. So we're really lucky that our opponent mulliganed to 5 this game because having an absurdly slow start like this. Oh, Ashiok. Wow. Okay. Well, if that was what the debate was about, then that's really bad for us. Especially because the Ashiok found a Hornet Queen and a Sylvan Caryatid. Alright, we need to draw a land. We had to draw a land there for Xenagos to be able to start pressuring that Ashiok. Now we're probably dead. Like, ugh. Ashiok is already a problem for this deck, but when we don't hit lands, it's even worse. And that Hornet Queen's going to be a problem for us too. Hopefully our opponent just doesn't have a counterspell or a removal spell. I mean, it's a possible thing. Because we're just playing this, and we're going to attack Ashiok for 2. Assuming it resolves, which it won't. Alright. So he has a he has a counterspell, and we're probably just going to be conceding this game. I mean, I'm going to play it out, because, like, if he's going to probably just -7 Ashiok here and get Hornet Queen. No, he's just plussing again. Maybe he's just trying to ultimate us. I'd actually rather him ultimate us than put a Hornet Queen into play. So I hope we draw a land here. I could go Frontier Siege first main, second main Courser, and attempt to kind of develop some mana. Alright, well we did draw a land. Let's cast the Siege and see if that resolves. It does. Alright, this might give us the ability to play double Whisperwood next turn, and that might actually be something that we can come back and win the game with. Because right now it looks pretty bad. If he just puts Hornet Queen into play, like that's really bad for us. But maybe he's going to try to take up and try to ultimate us out, which I hope that he does that because that would be great for us. But if he goes for Hornet Queen, we're going to have a hard time winning. If he goes for ultimate, we'll probably be able to win because we can go... Okay, well he put in the Queen. He put in the Queen and he gets to keep his Ashiok as well. Very convenient for him. But not all is lost. So we can cast Whisperwood. Not all is lost because we have double Whisperwood and we have a Pelucranos here. So if we actually find a Nykthos, we can use our Pelucranos to clear out this entire Hornet Queen and maybe come back and win that way. So, um, I mean, it looks really bad for us, but we still have chances. For what it's worth, I think that blue-black is really well positioned right now because I think it's pretty good against these ramp decks. At least this has been the deck that I've struggled the most to beat out of any deck that people have played. Uh, so yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. I don't want to attack here because I just want to find a Nykthos. Or a Xenagos, actually. Another Xenagos would be good too. Is this a removal spell or dig? Oh, wow. Jeez. Wow. That was a blowout. Well, we are going to manifest a Pelucranos, though, so that's actually pretty good. But that was bad. There's a lot of creatures underneath this, but they're all like Sylvan Caryatids and stuff. Let's see if he hit anything there. He had a Courser. That's actually really bad for us. Let's see what this is. A Downfall on our Manifest? Yeah, I mean, he knows it's a Pelucranos, so that was a good play on his part. He can start attacking us with some of this stuff. Because I can't really afford to attack with Whisperwood Elemental. Alright, so now what's my play? So I'm already down 2 Hornet Queens. I only have 1 Hornet Queen left in my deck. So I think that I should play this Frontier Siege on Khans again. So that if we draw stuff like Genesis Hydra or Pelucranos, we're going to have the mana to use the ability. But yeah, that's about it, I think. I don't think I can really do anything else here. And then I get to just play this Whisperwood. And now we're double manifesting every turn. We can actually maybe begin to outpace this Hornet Queen. Genesis Hydra and Nykthos. We can start using these tokens to start attacking too. He's probably just going... No, he went up again. Wow. I thought he would just put a Courser into play. But he is going up. We only have 26 cards left in our deck though, so we could easily just lose this game by not having cards left in our deck. I mean, we're losing 6 cards a turn. It's actually a pretty fast clock. Alright, Courser is okay, I guess. He does get to start to see what we're manifesting though, but I think it's better to still just have this Courser in play. Especially we can Temple and Manifest. Ooh, Hornet Queen. And I am actually going to leave that on top of my deck and have it get manifested because we can actually unmorph that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We actually have the mana to unmorph that too. So that's actually fine for us. Yeah, we can just unmorph that thing. Alright, let's attack Ashiok here. And try to get this Ashiok off the table. And we're just gonna use these Whisperwoods to power through this freaking Hornet Queen that our opponent had. And hopefully we don't mill out before that happens. Alright, so let's see. We hit Hornet Queen the first time. Ooh, Pelucranos is the second one. That is perfect. Oh my god, that is absolutely perfect. That could not have worked out better for us, actually. And the top card of our deck's Nykthos. Well, he gets to exile that. So there's a lot of random creatures underneath this thing. But yeah, I actually like our odds here. If he doesn't have like an Ugin or something. I mean, even if he does have Ugin, I actually don't know if it does that much against us right now. We have these manifests and stuff. Like, he could minus a bunch, but then he loses his Ashiok and some of his other stuff. Alright, so now I have to see how to play it, because if he has an instant speed removal spell, I don't want to expose my Pelucranos prematurely. Well, if he has a removal spell, he should really just fire it off now. So I think if he doesn't kill this manifest creature right now, then... But we can also just, let's see. I think we can actually just wait, because on our turn we can flip it for free and then monstrous it. So I think I just wait. Alright, play this Wooded Foothills. And then I'm going to monstrous for 1, 2. I have to cancel that actually. I have to fetch. I have to fetch here. And now we're just going to draw another forest. It's next draw for us. Well, that's actually going to get manifested or Ashiok or whatever. Alright, so now I have to monstrous here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully he just doesn't have a removal spell here, and I just get to kill this entire Hornet Queen. And then kill that Ashiok. Bioblade on the manifest token. Okay, I'm okay with that. I love how this game has turned around. Alright. I'm just going to send everything at Ashiok. Well, actually, if he had a removal spell... Yeah, if he had a removal spell, man, he would have cast it. I'm just going to play it this way. Oh my god. I can't believe the way this game progressed. This is insane. Like, we might actually... Like, we're not out of the woods yet, but, like, we might actually win this game. The Manifest a Forest. I mean, we only have a low number of cards left in our deck, but he is. If he finds a Perilous Vault, that's actually really bad for us. We get to manifest a Frontier Siege. Let's actually move this a little bit so that, and now we get to draw Pelucranos as our next draw. That's awesome. Maybe he has like another Ashiok in his hand. That would make sense if he just was sitting on another Ashiok. All right, he plays a land and just nothing. Oh wow. Wow, wow. I mean, I'm gonna cast this Pelucranos. We have double Whisperwood in play. I don't care if he just kills everything. Alright. And we're gonna attack with all. I think he's just dead even if he does have a Crux of Fate. God, Whisperwood Elemental, ladies and gentlemen. That card is real. That card is the real deal. Oh man. uh Alright, well, winning game one against Blue Black Control is pretty important. So I'm glad that we sacked our way to a win. And somehow our opponent never found a dig through time or Jace's Ingenuity. I mean, I forget that my opponent did Moldify this game, but still, like, wow. This is actually a really good game. Oh, Hornet Queen was bested by Whisperwood Elemental. And now our opponent is just, I guess, not doing anything. Okay, it tells us our opponent, Bootleg Shaman, has disconnected. Hopefully he is able to reconnect and we can play out the remainder of this match because I'm trying to record a video. So hopefully he solves his connection woes. I'm trying to think of like a scenario that he could have to not die. Because like Ugin doesn't save him. He can Ugin -5, but we just have we're gonna have 4 manifest creatures that get around that. He could Crux, but we just sack Whisperwood, then sack our other Whisperwood, and blah. We get 8 guys out of it. Maybe even 9 because we'll sack the first Whisperwood. Then when we sack the second Whisperwood, we'd get a manifest creature from that. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work. Okay, we get 8 guys, but because what you can do is actually so one interesting thing about Whisperwood Elemental that I've actually learned from punting this interaction. Okay, he is back. Good. Um, is if your opponent wraths you, you have to flip your manifest creatures before you sack the Whisperwood Elemental because the effect only applies to creatures that are not currently morphed or currently tokens. So even if your creature is a non-morph creature, like if you have a Pelucranos under there, you still have to flip it before you sack Whisperwood, otherwise it won't register. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, so how do I want to sideboard here? I want Praetor's Claws as a way to finish the game. I want all my Nisses and the Xenagos. Now, I've actually... Alright, so normally I've been keeping in Hornet Queen and not bringing in Ugin, but talking with some people and they feel that Ugin's actually better, so we're going to try the Ugin route out. And I don't like Pelucranos in this matchup. I want to keep 2. I don't like a lot of Pelucranos. And I want to keep 2 sieges, but I don't want too many. In fact, actually, do I just want to cut siege altogether? I kind of want to cut siege altogether. No, I want 1. I want 1 siege. Well, the thing is like, so it's actually hard because you want your mana. Yeah, I'm gonna keep 2 sieges and cut a mana guy. And I could bring in Shamanic Revelation too, but in my experience, it's actually been really bad against blue-black because it's hard to put a lot of creatures into play. So I've just had a very hard time keeping creatures in play. So this card just has been really bad for me against them. It's for Abzan, is the reason for Shamanic. It's just really good against Abzan decks, mid-rangey decks. But I don't think that this is the matchup against a Crux deck. I don't really like it that much. Uh, so it's hard to say because you don't want to have too much mana, and you don't want to have too many high-end threats and not enough mana. Maybe I want the full. Maybe I want the full Mania Pelucranos. I'm gonna try the less mana approach, and we could get screwed, but we're on the draw, so we have more chances to find lands and stuff. But okay, this hand is fine. Uh, things get a little rough post board sometimes. Even though like we get to upgrade our deck with like Nisses and stuff, they get to kind of upgrade their deck too. So, but this is a fine hand. We just yeah, like actual drawing lands is actually just a good like we want to just draw lands with this hand. Um, so I'm just happy to see like a land. Like a Courser would be a good one to see on top with this too. Like I'm gonna try this turn 3 Xenagos probably, depending on like what he does, but it's actually can be very awkward. Alright, so second Ugin, we're gonna put that on the bottom because one Ugin is already kinda awkward because we don't know that we're gonna be able to cast it or resolve it this game. It might be very difficult to do either of those things. Second one is definitely a little overkill in that regard. But I don't know how much I talked about it 'cause it's hard for me to remember, but I'm trying Ugin over Hornet Queen in this matchup. Alright, so here I actually like the playing a Voyaging Satyr over the Caryatid because it's going to actually attack. And if he just spends his turn Bioblading this, like that actually is okay with me. So, okay, well now he... So this is awkward here because he probably has... Why did he lead with Flooded Strand? Maybe he drew back-to-back lands? I don't want to just jam the Xenagos into a Disdainful Stroke, but at the same time, like, you're just never going to resolve something if you don't try. So I think it's better to just try. And, you know, if he counters it, then I play I can play Whisperwood next turn if I draw a land. I think it's better to just try. Our opponent just said in chat, them Whisperwoods. Alright, well he's fetching, so I feel like our Xenagos is going to be stroked disdainfully. Or negated. Yep, disdainful stroke. Well, oh well. This card is like so good against us. I really hate playing against that card so much. Probably the best card in the format against this deck. Something to know. But, yep, we're just going to keep jamming our threats. Hoping it works out. So, Whisperwood Elemental. I have to use Voyaging Satyr first. Super awkward. Alright, Whisperwood. Come on, resolve. It's probably going to resolve and get downfalled. Or dissolved. Instead of it didn't resolve, it dissolved. Tilt. It's alright, we're setting up for this Ugin anyway. We don't even care about that Whisperwood Elemental. Just kidding, I do. Alright. Slap him in the face with a Voyaging Satyr, I guess. Drop him down to the fresh life total of 21. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him at 21. Right where we want him. So here I'm going to play Caryatid Elvish Mystic to play around Bioblight. I don't want to play a second Voyaging Satyr into a Bioblight. But I do want to play both of these cards because I want to give myself the ability to cast a Genesis Hydra or an Ugin next turn. And if he Cruxes me here, then I just play a Voyaging Satyr and move on with my life and rebuild. Like, that's really all you can do. And he's not going to, which makes sense. Right, we drew a Nissa. Man. Well, this is really interesting here. Do we Hydra? So I can only Hydra for 5, which isn't that impressive. So I think I just Nissa. It's probably gonna get countered, but again, I'm just gonna keep jamming my cards into these counters and hope it works out. We don't have Thoughtseize or any way to really play around counters, so the best thing we can do is just cast our spells and hope it works out. So here, this could be bad for us, where he could go Downfall into Crux, and that leaves us in kind of a bad spot. Yeah, that might be what happens here. So yeah, it's actually really awkward. Maybe we should have thought that through a little bit better, gone for the Genesis Hydra route. So I get Crux here. It's bad. He didn't Crux us. Or maybe his second main Cruxing. Don't Crux us, please. I mean, if he doesn't Crux now, I'm going to assume he doesn't have it. I'm jamming Genesis Hydra. I'm just putting that out there. Genesis for 4, finding Xenagos. The dream. He didn't Crux. Alright, well, we have a little bit of a mana rebuild in case of a Crux. So, well, I have to tap my mana, right, because of this Voyaging Satyr. But I'm going to pre-combat this Hydra in case I do find a Xenagos. I'm only going to do it for 4 because, well, I want to attack for 4 with a Forest, so. Okay, well, he dissolved our Genesis Hydra before the trigger. And he puts the card on the bottom. Well, hopefully we hit something. Oh my god. Today is our lucky day. We hit the Xenagos. That is just actual perfects. It could not have hit an actual better card. Now if we get Cruxed here, like we actually can make a Satyr and play 2 Mana Dorks again. We're actually not in that bad. Oh, Perilous Faults. Alright, well, 2 for 5, 6. I mean, this is 10 damage. That's actually pretty good. If he has a Bioblight here, that's pretty good for him. Otherwise, this is actually 10 damage. So, he might have a Murderous Cut too. Bioblade or cut? Alright, he has Bioblades. Could we have Ugin him? 1, 2. I don't think so. I don't think there's a way for us to Ugin him there. Well, I guess we're in. Hope to limp in with Voyaging Satyrs and Elvish Mystics. He just put a card on top, which is bad news. Oh, wait, this exiles all non-land permanents. It doesn't actually get this thing. I forgot about that. Well, I just have to make a Satyr here and attack him for a lethal. I actually forgot that this, he can't get that with Vault, so he actually might just still be dead. If he has Murderous Cut, I guess he's still alive. Or maybe he has, like, Downfall plus something. Okay, he was just dead. Alright, well, we ended up beating Blue-Black Control, which is one of the harder matchups for this deck, so that's pretty exciting. Kind of ridiculous, actually, the way some of the games went. I don't know what happened, even. My mind is fried, but hopefully you guys enjoyed round 2 against Blue-Black Control. We played against Abzan mid-range slash control and Blue-Black Control, and hopefully we'll be back against something different next round. Maybe like a red-white or a Jeskai deck to showcase how this deck fares in those matchups as well. But again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll stick around for round number 3.